Ooh, mic check. Ooh, looks good. All right, we're going to be starting here shortly. Welcome. Brown cow, how now? How now, brown cow? Brown cow, brown cow? Brown cow, brown cow. Oh, shit. Ooh, what's going on, y'all? Happy hump day. It is Z-Rex, no noise time. We're live on May 24th of 2023. It's a quarter to 11. Barely hitting our target time here. Hope y'all have been having a great week and a good start to your Wednesday. We got some price action to talk about. A lot of red on the board today. Kind of across everything. VVIX popping up over 100, so that's new info. That's very interesting. We got VIX back over 20. We have closed the gap on the VIX and the VIX futures. It was, about $2-3 ranging in there for the spread on that. So we did have closed that. So that's interesting. Oh, crap. Hold on. I got to get over here. There we go. I'm just going full screen, get all that real estate. Let's see, where was I? Oh yeah, so VVIX, that gap closed. Oil's coming up back into the blue box. Nat gas not keeping up, and TNX hovering right around that 370 area, which we were kind of looking for when we tapped that for some downside pressure. Looks like that's still holding true, and we got a dollar rallying a little bit and keeping the pressure on metals, and also it looks like crypto. So let's go ahead and start with Mama Bear, as we like to do. Let's zoom down here to the daily, if I can, if my computer will let me. Actually, let's go all the way to the 458. Yeah, I saw this last night. I was a little concerned about this candle. This is pretty nasty because it engulfed pretty much all of these 458s with lower highs, kind of descending triangle type. So we did get some follow through from that. Now, is this pretty much the measured move from this little mini triangle right here? It is, but this is definitely a little bit concerning for the bulls on Bitcoin. We did get a body close below this swing low, and if we go back out, looking left, that's pretty much below all of this business. Now, the body close did close at top right here on this little structure before kind of pumping and going sideways for this most of this year. So we are at a very interesting spot here for the bears. They are really putting the pressure on the bulls, and this daily candle could look pretty nasty if it does close like this. Not very nice, especially if we get a little bit more and get underneath 26,000, which is kind of our short-term support level. Definitely getting tested today. And you can see the bears are really trying to assert dominance via the DMI. So that is pretty interesting. And also this candle, the reason I was real concerned about it, not only did it engulf, but it also did take out all the EMAs in one swipe. If you listen to the show a lot, I do not like when I see that. Well, I guess unless I'm bearish, I would like to see that. But whenever you see, one candle take out a lot of the EMAs and moving averages and structure, that generally does get follow through to whichever direction that happened. This could have easily been to the upside, kind of like this one here, but just lollygagged with a little doji rejection and just more lollygagging before this candle printed. So this is an interesting spot for the Bitcoin bulls to defend. Now, we do have 8 hours left. It's a lot of time. And I'm real curious to see how this candle closes. This is going to be a very important close today on Bitty Bits for sure. Let's go to the futures. Zoom into the futures a little bit. Let's see if we got kind of the same structure. Yeah, a little, like pretty similar to the 458 on spot. And you might ask, well, why don't you use the 458 on futures? Well, futures don't trade technically 24/7. So the 458 candles look really funky, as you can see here. And they're pretty much like they're like almost daily candles. Not quite on the futures. I mean, but it's just like this doesn't really work that well for futures because, like I said, they're not truly 24/7. They're close, but it's not like spot price where he literally never turns off. So I like to use the 3 hour on futures products. But anyway, yeah, getting some volume though. So hey, the range is attempting to break here, and it is to the downside. Unfortunate for some of the crypto bulls, myself included on that one. But right now we're just kind of testing the lower end of the range. We'll see what happens. Let's jump over to Ethereum unicorn shirt, man. You know, we did get a little bit of pump from, I mean, micro pump. I mean, 2% is not really a pump. But we are getting price action after the volatility flash. And oddly enough, it literally happened within a day. Usually it takes, 3 to 6 days. We did that on the Monday show. If you want to, I'm not going to go through all of that again, but just go to the Ethereum analysis and we'll talk, and I go into depth about the historical volatility flashes. But here we are getting testy on Ethereum. But, this one doesn't look as bad. Yet again, Bitcoin looks worse on structure for just like overall in the short-term structure. Ethereum still barely holding on to the bodies. Let's zoom in a little bit. Yeah, we did get one close here, but it's still well above this 1750-ish level, where Bitcoin has already gotten below that mid-May price action. So a little bit different between Mama Bear and Unicorn Man. And let's see, it looks like this trend line is being respected. We do have 3 touches now. That makes a pretty damn solid trend line. Very interesting, getting respect for that so far. So this is it. This is definitely, man, it's bubbling up is what it looks like to me. And we're still in the neutral zone for both the bears, and the bulls are barely hanging on to it. But this is definitely, I mean, good. At least we're not going sideways still. So I'd rather have some price movement and action getting going than just going sideways lulls forever. And I guess if you really break it down for Ethereum's chart, we're still freaking in the dumb range from mid-March from all this consolidation. So not much has really changed on Bitcoin or Ethereum. We're just getting a little bit of pressure on the downside, and it's pretty much the same as Monday in the last many videos. Above mid 1700s, it's okay on the longer term. I really need to clear that 1850 level. And you can see yesterday was like literally right around 1850 on the body, and getting immediate rejection today. So they are duking it out as we come out of this consolidation phase, which is fine. That's expected. Litecoin actually got mollywopped today. Back outside of its blue box. Is this going to be another false breakout? So the bulls are really or I guess the bears are making the bulls really work for this to regain the longer term momentum. And let's see, let's go to the weekly. Yeah, I mean, the weekly still technically is in higher lows, higher high form, and that's at about $83 on the higher time frames. And on the shorter time frames, we were looking for about $87 right around the edge of this box, which we are real close to. We're at 86 now. These daily candles today are going to be very important, which won't happen for another 8 hours. So we got a lot of time. Anything can happen. But the best case for bulls, I think, at this point is if these candles rally up and close maybe only halfway down of kind of what they're building so far. If they close down like how they're forming now and a little even lower, that would actually be pretty nasty. And you could argue that, well, maybe if my chart will load. You could argue that this is another false breakout. And, you can see what happened here last time. Just immediate rejection by the bears. The bulls couldn't even get back up to 100. So this is interesting price action here for sure. On this, the higher time frames, though, the weekly, still technically higher lows, higher highs. And that's not going to change for me on the macro on Bitcoin either because, Mama Bear is king. You can still see that we're floating right above all these EMAs. So there is lots of support in that, 25.5 to 26.5 area. And as long as we're above that, I'm still bullish on the macro. And as I've said a few times in the last week or two of videos, the only way I would change being macro bullish is if we start getting a couple open and closes below the 21 on a weekly time basis, or we just get back below 24,000, because that could happen. Anything can happen. So sometimes you might not get the open and close on the weeklies, and you might just get nasty price action blowing through it. And with VVIX and some other stuff popping, you also got rejections on the majors. We'll get to those in a second. That 4,200 level, swift rejection there, 1,800-ish, swift rejection on the Russell. So that's kind of interesting. I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit there, but we'll eventually get there for the regulars, the normies. Yeah, you can see here, nasty. This chart just doesn't, getting worked by that 21. You do have major support coming in at this trend line, which will be about June, early June for resolution on that. Major support at about $17. We are pretty much there now. XRP selling off a little bit. As long as it's above 42, though, I still think it's still decent. And none of the prices actually really changed. While it kind of looks a little bit, what's the word I'm looking for? A little concerning. We're still in the ranges, right? I think people are just getting to the edge of their seat now because we're actually doing some kind of price action instead of just going freaking sideways with 0.5% move and shit like that. So. But that's good. That means it's going to get exciting. It can be exciting in bear markets too, Stellar, oof, ouch. Just breaking range here. This one actually looks a little bit more nasty, getting some deep retraces. Again, I think the best case for the bulls at this point is letting because sometimes you do get false breakouts or breakdowns. Like the initial move from coming out of the vol flash is the wrong one. I do see that a lot. And so I think we're kind of in that's the best case scenario right now for bulls is we're just testing a little bit deeper because we're still at price structuring. Price structuring. That's a really good word. Fucking idiot. Price structure. And we're still making higher highs and higher lows so far. So we haven't threatened the macro just quite yet. And as we talked about on Monday, that's probably still going to take, another week or so for the bears to really threaten it. Except for Tron. Tron's just saying suck it to all the bears. It doesn't care about the bears at all. And Tron is actually pretty much has broken out of this structure and has gone. This is pretty much bull mode right here. You've got the open weekly, open and close above all this structure. And just like we were looking for about that 8-cent area as that next resistance spot, it looks like we went and tagged it almost exactly. Yeah, about a half a penny shy of 8. Getting a little bit of selling pressure, so that's totally expected, especially when you get this nice vertical breakout move from this structure. But overall, man, this looks really good. This is one of the best looking charts in crypto right now. And as long as we're holding above like this, let's say about 7.4-ish, mid sevens roughly. This actually is a very constructive chart. The only way I would change my mind is if we started breaking 7 and getting comfy below 69. Let's see, DOT. Yeah, some of these shit coins have just continued to look shitty, getting worked by their short-term 21 EMA. This is the same here, just skipping that rock on the pond, man. It's just inevitable to break here pretty soon. Usually you don't get too much super compression like this. Oddly enough, there's no vol flash on here, so that's kind of odd. ADA. What is Charles doing? Oh, just getting worked. But look where this is between the 21 200. I hate taking trades when price is between the long term and the short term moving averages like this. I just wait until this breaks. And I will play this both sides. I do like to short too sometimes. So we're kind of just waiting to see what these ranges happen. I'm not a huge, I'm just saying I like to short sometimes. I'm not necessarily saying I'm going to short right now because the macro is still bullish on crypto. And shorting crypto in general is usually pretty dangerous feat. Very dangerous. And you might ask yourself why. You'd be like, what the hell? Why is shorting crypto dangerous? Well, have you looked at the monthly chart of Bitcoin? Well, let's look at it real quick with nothing on it. Look at this. It's mostly up over time. Yeah, there's these little blips here for like a year or so, but it's almost better to just buy larger bear market dips in crypto than it is to short, because you just never know when that shit runs and rips your face off, which it has done many, many times. All right, and if I do short, it's generally very short term, short term. Man. Monthly candle, we got 7 days. This will be next week, I believe. Actually, I believe it's next Wednesday, isn't it? Next hump day? I can't see my calendar because I'm in full screen mode. It is. So it's actually exactly a week from today. Very important monthly close to see if it closes like this with a doji and rejection. That would kind of suck. And, you know, we could potentially easily go to back to 24. So we'll wait and see, though, because we got 7 days. A lot of shit can happen in 7 days. But it will be an important close next stream for hump day. All right, let's go back over here. Where were we at? Linky poo. Maybe if my chart can load. Oh, Link is still in its range. Just getting worked by the short-term moving averages. Let's put back on the range, actually, because we can't see it. Not Momo yet by the bears, but they are attempting right now to get it, and they will probably get full momentum just below $6, and we'll see if they get rejected again at the bottom side of this range, which we can expect because it's literally been a year and that's happened every single time. So it does until it doesn't, right? EOS, oof, ouch. Dan Larimer is at the very edge of black hole mode. If this thing goes pretty much a little bit lower, below 79, it goes into price discovery to the downside. The opposite of blue sky breakouts. Not nice for the bulls. What do we got here? BCH. Ooh, nasty. Getting worked still by the 21. So bulls just can't really get it going. They tried, and they failed so far. Yep. Nasty. Still at the very, very edge here. As long as it's holding like 31, it's okay. Below that, probably easily can go to 29. And that's pretty much black hole mode on BSV as well, below 29. So how about XMR? Man, XMR also still getting worked by the 21 right on the edge. I mean, we are literally, that's what's funny about this price action. We're just like literally right on the edge of actually getting kind of short-term bearish. So watch LA, vol flash coming here. And coming out of the vol flash, we're getting some actual price action, you know. I know it's only a couple percent, but let's see if we can zoom in on this. Hold on. Yeah, you can see it's starting to creep up. The little gray histogram right there is just ever so slightly trying to pop up. So I think this is just putting more weight that we are going to get resolution this month in early June for some of this consolidation. So put your seatbelts on. Get ready. Zcash. Nasty. It's working its way to that 29. This chart has looked shitty for a long time. It actually has really not participated in any of the bull structure at all. Just total shit show. Zcash is trash, and it has been for a while. Just off price action, what I don't know about really what it's doing or projects or any of that crap, but by its chart, the market does not care about it. Poor Zcash. Let's see here. Dash bouncing off that trend line. Again, getting worked by these 21s. You know, you do have to question the bulls here a little bit when they can't even get over 21 EMAs on daily. Like, not even for a little bit. It is pretty weak sauce, man. Just not good. Also, even Doge getting worked by the 21. Pretty nasty. Pretty nasty. Major support it. You already know triple sixes. So as long as we're above that, it's okay. But real sideways. There is no momentum yet. Look at this battling in the neutral zone for the DMI, and this has been since late April. Just really duking it out in here. You don't see them duke it out too much like this. I mean, here's a kind of a little example here, possibly like right here. But usually there is Momo on one side or the other. But as y'all seen across the market, it it is very compressed, mega compression. All right, STX, ouch, coming on these. We're either in the hole getting worked. Again, it's the same like 3 charts. We've been talking about that a lot in this year. It seems like it's either it's trying to kind of be bullish like Tron. Well, that one actually is totally bullish. Or we're getting worked by the 21, or we're just retesting the mid-March lows. So it's either trash like Zcash. Tron is definitely an outlier. Most of the stuff looks like this, where it's kind of testing the mid-March lows. And we're just kind of getting worked by this trend line still. Nothing, again, marking that 21 EMA in between that and the 200. No momentum. Bears trying to gain some Momo right now, but you can see last time they did that, they got rejected pretty fast. We'll see. We need something to get over 26. And we're right at the line in the sand here in the upper 50s. Not too great looking, y'all. True is just bleeding the F out. It's right around 4.2, 418. Y'all know that might be some support. 8 hours. Again, these daily closes today are going to be pretty important. So keep an eye on that for the end of the day. Let's see. What do we got here? Radix is just chilling. So Radix is actually still just being quiet. They ain't really doing shit. It's kind of just been lulling here at the end most of this month. Still the same shit, different day. About 69, 6.9 pennies, and between about 8 cents is the range. So it's range bound until it breaks one of those sides. Hex is just dying. Yeah, after Pulse Chain, no one cares about Hex. This thing's probably just going to go to 0 if I had to guess. And look at this. Pump into the release, breaks the trend line, starts getting worked. Nasty. Nasty. I'm pretty sure this one's just going to nothing. V-Chain, because there's no point in it anymore. Pulse Chain's out. Like, what do you need Hex now? Move on to the next pump. Freaking Richard Hart, Pump Master. V-Chain also kind of like Radix, just chilling. Not really. It's getting a little pressure today, but it's not below its recent range of May. Major support around like in the 1.8 handle, 1.8 penny handle. So we'll kind of see again how these daily closes. I think they'll be very important if they're engulfing or how they set up. This one's probably, oh nope, I expected this one to be below the range. It's not though. It's just barely holding on. Good support at around $10 still. Below $10 though. Ouch. And we really need to see the bulls just. Can they get over the 21 daily EMA on like anything? It does not look like they really can. Let's see, even on Bitcoin, I just want to see real quick. Yeah, it's even on Bitcoin, ever since it broke it back over here at 28. Can't do it. The 21 EMA, man. It is no joke. Osmos is flat today. Whoa, it had a little pump. Oh my God, look at that. It's going to the moon. Oh, no, I'm just kidding. It's back down on the trend line. This bitch is just riding the trend line like a mofo on the upside. It's like a slide for it or something. This thing is in, look where this freaking candle went. Right to the 21, right to that 666 area, the previous support, rejected so far. I mean, this one just looks shitty. It's in black hole mode right now. So until it gets above like 69 cents, like whatever on that one. Ton is probably, oh look, Ton is not probably doing what the other ones are. It actually attempted to get over its 21 yesterday, and now we're getting a little bit of liquidation break here. Will the bulls be able to defend this 190 area? If they were able to do that, this actually would look a little bit constructive. You can see the bulls trying to gain dominance here in the DMI. They're also trying to do it on the RSI with a little bit of higher highs, higher lows. So that's pretty interesting. Actually doing something different. Hey, way to go, Ton. All right, let's get to the majors. Oh, yes, look at you getting above 4,200. And that's why I say all the time, y'all, I like 2 or 3 open and closes. It doesn't matter what time frame you use. I just like 2 or 3 open and closes above range or structure or whatever you're looking at, to confirm that that is a higher probability of continuation. And you can see here, we literally only had one open and close above it. And it's kind of like a doji, this one right here on Friday's close. And then literally a couple rallies on Monday and yesterday, both faded and went below the 4,200, open and close below. So we didn't even get 2 open and closes above 4,200. And an immediate rejection, and we're getting follow through. So, yay, we're back inside of the range. Isn't that just lovely? When we thought we were getting out of it to get some new price action and some new numbers on the screens, nope, just kidding. Now, weekly, does it still look okay? Yeah, it does. On the structure, definitely looks fine. You got all the EMAs pointing up. They're in chronological order, so that's all cool. But again, now we're just back in the stupid range of 4,200 and 4,080. So, and no Momo on the weekly DMI or the daily, just Chop Fest 3,000. So, hey, yay, we're back in the range, 480, 4,200. What the hell, man? This is an interesting place. So we were talking about the vol flashes at the top of range, which ended up getting a little bit of selling pressure here. It's only a couple percent. We are still above the breakout zone. We are still above the 21. And as we spoke about yesterday, or sorry, on Monday, around that 13,600 is some good, decent support. And we are stalling there today as of now. We still got about 5 hours left. We'll see what happens. But if bulls were to be able to defend this 13.6-ish, 13.5 area, that would be a pretty decent move for them. And this could just be a quick little liquidation break before continuation. But there is a little bit of concerns with the VIX, which we're about to get to here in a second. Kind of wild that they're popping so much with just like pretty minuscule moves. I mean, 1% isn't that much. Wow, the Dow looking like absolute garbage on the other side of the range, testing the 32.8 level. We get below 32.8, we're back into this cluster F over here. Probably won't blow through it, just given that there's a lot of good support right here. But, you know, we'll just have to kind of see what's up with that on the close. This daily and these monthly closes coming up are going to be very important. Man, is it worth buying a little bit right here? I don't know, maybe. Okay. Russell. Oh, look at that. Same thing. Doji. Right underneath 1,800, or right at it, pretty much. We didn't even get an open and close above Rut. And Rut's the most important one, man. I think like right now, I think it's the most important one. As long as if this bitch can't get over 1,800, then what the hell, man? What the absolute hell? Let's see. Dow Jones. Just back in the ranges, man. What the shit? Those DAX false breaking out here? Man. All right, so another thing. If these candles, man, these dailies real important today. If this thing engulfs all this price action today and closes below 15.8, that would actually be super bearish. And I would look for a test back into this green box over here. Pretty nasty price action. Man, look at this. 2 double false breakouts. Test other side of range. False breakout again. Test other side of range. Dude, it's coming. The move is coming. We're getting the frequency is increasing. The VIX is popping. Like, it's coming, man. We are close. This summer is going to be pretty interesting. Hold on to your horses. VIX popping, getting back over 20. When it's over 20, watch a lay. When VVIX is over 100, watch a lay. That's when the bears say, oh, dang, I didn't notice this because we don't do streams on Tuesdays. Oh, man, look at that. Open and close above 100 yesterday. Get the follow through. We've been looking for that on this bullish structure for VVIX. It was kind of the odd man out for a little bit, and plus that gap on the futures and the spot price of $2 to $3. Now those are converged though. Now it's like more in line, you know, like this is regular there because you can even see it's up 10% today, VIX spot, and then the futures are only up 4.5%. So they have closed that gap, and we're getting the poppage on the VVIX. Whenever it gets over 100, dude, you got to watch out for the bears. That's when they like to kind of come with that claw and swipe the shit out of you. Yeah, so keep an eye on that. I do have alerts that trigger when this does go over that. It's super easy to do if you use TradingView. You can literally just like right click, add the alert. Y'all already know what it is. This is so straightforward. That's why I like TradingView. You can put 100 in here, blam, whatever, get it to email you, blah, 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 blah. Let's see. Very important metric, though. Oil getting back into its range. Very nice, very nice. Back above 73 actually looks pretty good. I give it a pretty decent chance to test the other side of range. Maybe get stalled out around 78, but this looks really nice above $73. Nat gas, lame, but it's still doing its thing. Look, getting caught by 21. EMA, higher highs, higher lows still. So still looks okay. This candle is just the nastiest one on Monday. Pretty gross. But just kind of chilling right now. Bonds continuing to sell off. Rate hikes are coming, apparently, is what the market's been saying. We're going to just keep going to the moon with rate hikes. Let's go, I guess. 7, 8%, 9%, 10%. Whatever. Oh, here we are. Test the other side of range. We are breaking down. Wow, this is interesting. On TMF, we are breaking down here below 75. This is a very clear descending triangle, and it's a vol. Wow, vol flash. Man, what the hell? We got a vol flash on NASDAQ at the top of range, and then we got a vol flash on TMF at the bottom of range. Very interesting. Man, dude, the moves coming out of this, man, are going to be so big. They're going to be so big. This thing gets a little bit lower, 735. Watch out. We might be going to 7, 8% on the rates. TNX, look at this, y'all. We above that 370. Between VVIX and TNX and the yield, I mean, that shit's been solid. Very solid about kind of predicting and forecasting selling pressure in the markets. So it's still holding true. Till most of this year, it's been holding true. Actually, even late last year, it was too. So very interesting. That's still a thing. Man, dollar putting pressure on everything. That means silver. Yep, silver, palladium, platinum getting hammered. That's putting pressure on putting pressure on crypto as well, I believe. Usually when dollar rallies kind of hard, crypto does not usually like that. And here we are at the very top of range. Man, are we going to actually break out? I just don't want us to go into the tops and bottoms of ranges, and then we just keep going sideways. Damn it. Why do I feel like that's what's going to happen? I guess because it's been happening for a year, so well, that's long enough to get out of it, right? Euro, obviously inverse of a Dixie, but man, dollar looking strong, boys. Next stop after it can open and close above 103.75-ish or 80 is all the way up here at 105.75, so $2 pumpage. Man, if that happened, talking about some pressure. Gold looking pretty nasty here, getting some building structure below even 1980. This actually looks pretty gnarly. Looks like it wants to test 1900 again. And I like higher time frames for gold. What do we got? 1930 on the 21. Yeah. Very interesting. Kind of getting a lot of sell pressure here. Y'all already know what's up. It needs to be above 2K for the bulls to have full boners. And right now they ain't got that. Silver, once it lost, man, that 24.20, you already know what it was. We've been watching that shit like a hawk for the whole year. Above it looked great. We got back below it. Look at that struggle since then. Now, are we just testing? Another example of testing other sides of ranges and big support areas. The best case for bulls right here. Let's look at the weekly. Let's jump out to the weekly. The best case is this is just a test for continuation to the upside. But man, now we're gonna have to wait a couple of weeks at least just to see resolution on this. So pretty nasty. Want to see it back above 24.20 for bulls. I mean, this is pretty good sell off here from all the way at 26.36 down to 23, so over $3. Back below 1050 on palladium. That's no bueno. That's nasty. But that lower high, man, pretty gross. Here we are, back in the range. Yay, back in the stupid range. Really need to get above, back above, get above, back above, above. I'll say it like 14 times apparently. 1050 and major support at about 1,000. Oh, palladium breaking down nasty. Man, if this daily closes like this, that's pretty gross. That 1400 level, or 14, what is this little swing low right here in the cross? It's almost about 1420. Of course it's 1420. What other number would it be? Pretty nasty. We get a couple open and closes, and the next finish out this week below 1420. That's actually pretty gross price action. GDX getting comfy below its horizontal, that 32 level, getting that pressure. But it is still making higher highs and higher lows, technically. Let's look at the weekly. Yes, I mean, there's a lot of support right here, like in the low 30s. So we'll see if we're going to need another week probably to see if we get another open and close below this horizontal. And if that were to happen, that would be kind of nasty. Trying to break out here, but got that pressure for sure. So bears are testing. Bears are trying to get that Momo. Let's go to the sector majors. You know, this with VIX popping hard and banking starting to sell off again. You can see they rallied right up to this consolidation area rejection yesterday on a nice little shooting star candle. Did the KRE do the same? Yes, it did. Very interesting. That is relief rally. And usually you just get continuations from these back to the downside. So back below like 39 bucks, dude, watch out. And we've got XLF is actually selling off too. Rejection from its horizontal at about 32.5. So this is pretty interesting too. If it loses this little abandoned island reversal type thing or baby candle, whatever the hell it's called, I can't remember it right now, but 31.50, man, it loses 31.50. Who's going to collapse now? Who will it be? Who's next? Pretty interesting. And with VVIX popping like it is, definitely warrants watching out for downside action for the bears. Man, we're losing 320 on our little minor index. Barely holding on. 300, man, is like kind of the next stop on the shorter term. If we look at the high time frames, we're still okay. Just barely holding on to these weekly 21s. We start getting comfy even closer to 305 in that area. Kind of have to start questioning this. How do I not have the horizontals down here? Let's add those real quick. Alt H. There we go. Those definitely need to be on this chart. Sometimes I just forget. No Momo yet. Super compression, y'all. Dude, the moves. Like, yeah, we're getting some moves today, but the moves that are coming out of this are going to be so freaking big. Nice little couple penny pump on cores yesterday, and it's trying to get bullish actually right here. You got the Momo back over right here on the RSI. Not got a lot of work to do on the DMI. That's probably going to take many days for that, at least a week or so. But man, we get back above 40 cents. This thing got a good chance to run to the 200 whenever that does happen. Hopefully it just doesn't go sideways for the next like 2 months, and then the 200 just meets it down here, and then that'll put a lot of selling pressure on cores. All right, let's see. T0 coin selling. Well, not really selling off. Kind of just lollygagging. It's like it almost looks really bad. I'm real curious to see how these. Not really bad. Sorry, it doesn't look really bad. It almost looks concerning for lower time frames. Macros are still bullish, and we got to see how this monthly closes out. But man, yeah, kind of like selling pressure everywhere. Interesting. Trying to find something that's not selling off. Let's go look at oil, of course. Oil. And that's it. Energy is the only thing that's not selling off. Well, okay then. It's all about the Earl. Interesting. What are war stocks doing? Let's go look at that real quick. I like to look at these every once in a while. What time is it? Because I got to get ready. I got to go pick up some friends at the airport here in a second. Oh, yeah, so I got to wrap this up. All right, let's wrap this up. Let's look at Apple real quick and Microsoft, since like 4 stocks right now are the entire market, it seems like. And Apple and Microsoft are 2 of those. Interesting. Look at this. Vol Flash at the very, very top of range. Man, so you do not get those very often. We literally have like a handful of those. I could probably find more if I went and searched, but pretty interesting here. Is this a double top right here? Ooh, look at that. Right to the frickin' penny, pretty much. I'm getting rejection so far. Why do we have this on here? We don't need that anymore. That's old school news. Let's see here. The weekly. Man, I mean, to be fair, though, the weekly still looks pretty good. It's a little far away from its 21. But Apple actually does look pretty damn good still, above the mid 160s. Jesus. Trying to make new highs. Look at that. Now, is this just a little fake out rally to put some sell pressure back on everything? Let's see where this retrace went to. That looks like a deep retrace. It is. Interesting. Interesting. So we get a close back below 168. This thing probably does and goes and tests like 160, and then we'll have to reassess from there. But that's a pretty interesting spot to stall out at. Microsoft is in the same position too. Man, yeah, this is like really vertical too. Super vertical move. Maybe it's time for a little bear break. Interesting. All right, let's go back and wrap this biatch up. Bitcoin, Mama Bear, definitely getting some pressure. We are starting to get the EMAs crossing back to the downside. We've got this little trend line that has been supporting us for the whole entire year. And so above that, above 26,000-ish, give or take, 500 bucks, it's still okay. We're just kind of selling off. And it's not it's not bearish yet or anything like that. The only way, like I said in the last couple weeks of videos, that I would start to flip bearish on crypto would be open and closes on the weekly below the 21, and I'd want at least 2 of them. And then also just below 24K period. I think if a daily even got open and closed for a couple days below 24,000, that probably starts to ratchet up to the weekly. So that's kind of the bearish scenario. Nothing's really changed. It's just the first day we're finally getting, outside of range price action on some of the majors. And with the failure of ES trying to get over 42, that kind of sucks because, it's probably safe to say that if the traditional normie markets aren't going to rally really hard, then, crypto's going to have a little bit of headwinds from that. We need risk on in the market. We need a risk on regime, and we don't have that right now, because let's just face it, crypto is super risky and very volatile, especially compared to indexes and Apple and shit like that. So, but we are just barely holding on here. But nothing's changed from the analysis over the last few weeks about 24K, what I just mentioned about the 21 EMA, all that jazz. Let's go to the futures real quick. I just want to see. Do you know what is interesting? I don't know. On a weekly or on a daily, there is a gap way down here at 20,000. Gaps generally do get filled, so maybe we're working our way to go do that. I don't know. I'm just kind of going to the mega bearish scenario. If we did that and it got comfy though, oh man, that would suck for the Bitcoin bulls. And we'd probably have to go into bearish mode all the way. ETH, but that's far away. It's going to take a lots of time. And again, see, we're still in the range. So we're just coming out of the cocoon kind of compression. And so we're getting a little bit antsy. Frequencies ramping up. The VIX is ramping up. So, I mean, this is good. This means we probably are going to break out of this range early summer here. Probably, I think, in the next I've been thinking this month at some point. We only got 7 days, so it does look like it's starting to amp up. So maybe y'all can feel that if y'all trade a lot or something too. I don't know. It definitely does feel like we're getting ready to do some popping or dropping, not popping necessarily like to the upside, but just price action moving outside of these dumbass ranges. Let's see. ES, let's go to that real quick. 4,200, man, very real resistance. Y'all already know if y'all been listening, we be talking about that all the times. False breakout, weak sauce by the Bulls. That was a really weak attempt. Now they got to do it all over again. We're just back in the stupid range. 4080, 4200. Yay, now we get to say the same shit like we have been for the last month or so. Cool. I think that's really it, man. I feel like a broken record at this point. Um, but hey, the Dow is actually getting lots of selling pressure. The Russell's just back smack in the middle of the range. The Dow actually looks the worst out of all of them right now, but it is right atop the major support at 200 and this horizontal at about 32.8. So kind of interesting. We're all over the place with price action, but it does. The theme for this video is it does seem like we are, like I said, starting to break out of that compression cocoon. So let's see where the butterfly flies at this point. And watch VVIX. I'll be watching that, and TNX I think are real important right now. VVIX getting back below 100. We could look for probably some good rallies. There are also VIX back below 20. So, but man, yeah, when VVIX is over 100 and TNX and yields are over 370, that bear pressure is no joke, and that's still holding true till today because TNX hasn't been above 370 in quite a while, as it just lollygagged down here for a long time. All right, that's it, guys. Much love. I hope you have a beautiful hump day. I'll see you all on Friday morning. And this has been Z-Rex with No Noiz, signing out. Peace.